What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I'm here to talk about the BMF belt. I know that it's kind of gimmicky, but it's something I wanted to discuss. You know, obviously at UFC 318, dude, you know what you did. You fucking retired me on a fucking decision, dude. You know what you fucking did. Max Holloway defended the BMF belt against Dustin Poirier. This is a real thing now. I thought they were going to maybe retire this after he lost to Ilia Topuria. If Dustin won, they definitely would have retired it. But now that this is seemingly going to stick around as a thing with Max Holloway, and they're talking about maybe Ilia versus Max for like both belts on the line, I wanted to discuss the top 15 contenders for this belt. And I want to give some explanation of what I mean by that. The top 15 contenders to fight for the BMF belt. So we're talking about people that could fight Max Holloway, the champion right now. So we're talking 145 or 155ers. I think if Ilia Topuria wins and they actually do like Ilia versus Max 2 and, you know, both belts are on the line and Ilia Topuria wins the rematch and maybe he moves up to 170 to chase Islam Makhachev, some crazy timeline like that, then I think bloody JDM, the fucking lineal BMF, and I'm not letting this go. JDM is the real BMF because Masvidal lost to Usman, who lost to Leon, who lost to Bilal, who then lost to my GOAT JDM. So realistically, JDM is the fucking BMF. But if we're talking about who's fighting Max Holloway for the BMF belt, I'm looking at 145 and 155. I'm looking at people with the best fight style, like who has that BMF fight style where they're just going after it all the time. They've got a lot of finishes on their record. You know, they're willing to fight on short notice and kind of up against anyone in, you know, a different weight class. They're always having a crazy fight, win or lose. They're active. And I think vet status also helps because the first one was Masvidal and Diaz, two veterans of the game. So we're going to be looking for vets with a crazy fight style, super active in the UFC, a lot of finishes on their record, win or lose, and they're always active. This is the top 15 rankings for the BMF, in my opinion, all right? Number 15, I'm going to put Bobby Queen Green in, bro. I feel like Bobby Queen Green deserves to be on this list, so I'm going to throw him in here at number 15. This guy is getting slept by fucking and I just want to say thank you to Bobby Green as a Paddy Pimblett fan. And why am I saying thank you to Bobby Green? Because Bobby Green decided to put on the best performance of his life against Jim Miller at UFC 300 right before Paddy Pimblett fought him, just to really remove a little bit of those washed allegations. I mean, we couldn't do anything about it. As soon as Paddy beat him, people were calling him washed, but this guy, win or lose, he literally will get slept out cold and come back 6 months later. He just got slept by Rufy out cold. He's already got a fight booked. Same thing happened when he lost to Jalen Turner. He came straight back against Jim Miller and won at UFC 300. So you have to give Bobby Green respect. He's taken a lot of short notice fights in the UFC against guys like Islam Makhachev, Grant Dawson, anyone and everyone basically that he's allowed to fight, he will fight them. And he's always looking for a finish. He's a finish or be finished fighter. I think he belongs in this conversation. His record is 32-17 as well. So yeah, Bobby Green definitely belongs in this combo. I'm going to put him at number 15, all right? Next on my list at number 14, we're going to put Edson Barbosa on here, man. People fucking forget about Edson Barbosa, dude. I love Edson Barbosa. And yes, he is at a point in his career where it genuinely looks like he's gassed out in 1 minute into the fight. But I don't care. He's still looking to fluke you with a spinning heel kick. He does get in scrappy fucking wars. Usually he's on the other side of that. But he does get into wars in most of his fights nowadays. And he does have some nasty finishes. I mean, he knocked out Billy Quarantillo with a pretty nasty knee in his last win. He beat up Sadiq Youssef in a pretty crazy back and forth Apex fight. Almost knocked out Lerone Murphy, bruv, with an up kick. So Edson Barbosa is still dangerous. He's an unk. He has a lot of fucking big names on his resume, win or lose. He's always a pretty dangerous and exciting fighter to watch. He's coming back up to 155. I think Edson Barbosa is a prime BMF unk level candidate. You know, if the belt really falls off, Edson Barbosa is a guy that if he gets like 3 or 4 wins in a row, maybe we just chuck him in there for the belt, dude. So Edson Barbosa is my pick at number 14. Coming in next at number 13, this is a name that I really don't see thrown in these conversations, even though he's fought all the other guys kind of in this topic, I feel like. Diego Ferreira. Why does nobody talk about Diego Ferreira, dude? This guy knocked out Michael Johnson. He beat Anthony Pettis. He fought fucking Dustin Poirier already. He's about to fight Bobby Green. He had a crazy fight with Beneil Dariush in the Apex. He had a crazy fight with fucking Gregor Gillespie. This guy had an entertaining fight with Gregor Gillespie. Nobody talks about Diego Ferreira. Had a crazy fight against Mateus Rebecki as well. Diego Ferreira, in my opinion, is one of the most entertaining UFC lightweights that is so fucking underrated. This guy's been in the UFC for such a long time. I never see people talk about this guy. I feel like him and Mike Davis, and I feel like I'm forgetting somebody else, like some of the most underrated guys in the UFC, bro. And I feel like Diego Ferreira belongs in this BMF conversation. Like I said, he's been around for such a long time already. He's fought some big names. He's beat some good names as well. He's always entertaining to watch as well. I really do enjoy watching Diego Ferreira fight. Like, he had a boring fight against Grant Dawson. Not really his fault. Grant Dawson's just wrestling him. But outside of that, this guy's had some pretty entertaining fights throughout his career in the lightweight division. And he's got big power. He can scramble. He's got good grappling. Some of his losses are really to big names that you can't really hate on him for. And he's usually pretty active as well. So Diego Ferreira, very, very underrated lightweight right here. I'm going to put him at number 13 on my BMF rankings. Moving on to number 12. Oh, never mind. It was Michael Johnson. There's a different Michael on the list. Michael Johnson. MJ. Unk still fucking got it, dude. I'm throwing Michael Johnson in at number 12, man. Michael Johnson is trying to get this BMF fight. God bless him. He literally, at the post-fight, I love Michael Johnson, bro. There's so many things about Michael Johnson that make me laugh, dude. The fact that in his post-fight interview, he says, yo, I love my family, I love my friends, no Diddy. You don't have to say pause to say you love your family and friends, bro. You don't, dude, it's not gay to love your family, bro. You're allowed to say, yo, I love my wife. No homo, though, like... No weird shit. It's like, bro, you're good, dude. You're straight, man. That's the fucking society that we live in. That you can't even say you love your family without having to be like, hold on, pause. And then at the post-fight press conference, this guy's like, I've been throwing around the idea of fighting Max Holloway. Okay, bro. I've been throwing around the idea of dating Sydney Sweeney, but that doesn't mean it's gonna fucking happen, dude. Okay? I love the confidence. I love that Michael Johnson's trying to fill out this unk role in the UFC. He's still got it. He's still dangerous. He's got a lot of nasty finishes on his highlight reel. Even his last knockout, fucking Otman Azaitar slept him so bad, sent him to the Shadow Realm. So Michael Johnson's always going to belong in the BMF top 15 as long as he's in the UFC. This guy has fought so many fucking people in the lightweight division. You can point to this guy fighting modern day fighters like Daniel Zellhuber, fucking Darius Flowers, and he's fought Melvin Gillard, Dustin Poirier, Khabib. Like, he's fought literally Tony Ferguson. He's fought fucking everybody. Michael Johnson definitely belongs in this list, okay? Next guy to talk about. He is a ranked lightweight contender, and usually I hate on this guy, but in this video, I think he fits this perfectly. We gotta throw BSD in here, bro. Bro's literally like 29 years old. He's already a unk. Like a exciting unk, in my opinion. That's where I put BSD. I don't think this guy's ever gonna touch the belt. I don't think he's ever gonna, get to that top 5, top 6 status. But BSD is exciting to watch, win or lose. He's either getting chinned or he's coming at you, marauder mode activated, throwing little pipsqueak elbows, trying to take you down and get a submission. We love BSD. We love BSD around here. This guy's on the Mount Rushmore of head movement. And we love him, dude. BSD is always coming to bring the fight. Win or lose, it is entertaining to watch a BSD fight. It's either like watching a fucking live leak video when he loses, or, you're watching him just maraud through someone, just completely melting someone. So I do have to give BSD credit for being one of the most exciting guys in the lightweight division. He really is like an old school fighter, dude. I think I made a video about fighters that belong in a different era. BSD belongs in the 90s. This dude deadass would have been a problem for fucking Hoist Gracie back in the day. But in the modern day, he is a kill or be killed fighter. He's very exciting to watch, regardless of what you think about him. I think he does belong in the BMF conversation. And I think he is a guy that maybe in like a year or two, if he beats the right guys, maybe he could fight for the BMF belt, depending on where that belt is, if it's still around. I think BSD is that type of guy. So we're going to put him in there at number 11, I believe. 15, 14, 13, 12. Yeah, he's number 11. Now we're in the top 10, dude. Now we're in the elite of the BMF conversation. And coming in at number 10, Conor McGregor, you gotta come back and fight somebody, man. I seen you lifting weights. Let me get a hold of those weights. Michael Chandler, God bless him, he's still trying to get the McGregor fight. He really thinks McGregor's coming back at the White House to fight you, bro. It's not happening, brother. You are fighting fucking Ignacio Bahamondes in the prelims of the White House card, brother. You are on the White House card prelims, bro. I'm telling you right now, you might be serving fucking hot dogs at the White House card, dude. But Michael Chandler, he belongs in this conversation. He's a fucking unk. He has 10 losses. He's in entertaining fights, win or lose, most of the time lose, because he's not trying to win. He's trying to entertain you. And I think that, to me, fits what the UFC wants from a BMF. They're looking at Masvidal and Diaz. I would say Michael Chandler is that type of guy. Like, he was ranked highly at one point. He does have name value. The biggest thing that people like about him is that he's entertaining. They don't care if he wins or loses. They just want to watch him fight. Especially now. I know a lot of people maybe picked him against Paddy Pimblett. They had him in their fucking parlays and some of these other fights. But now he is a guy, you don't bet on him. You don't worry about if he's going to win or lose. You assume he's going to fumble the fight at some point, but you know it's going to be entertaining. He's going to do something dumb. He's going to do something crazy. And if he wins, it's probably by finish and he does a fucking backflip 20 times. So Michael Chandler's super entertaining. He's always going to have a spot in the BMF conversation. I think that definitely if he had beat Paddy Pimblett, or if he had somehow beat, Charles Olivera, he would have been getting a BMF fight. Like, I'm pretty sure they offered him Max Holloway for the BMF belt, but Max Holloway turned it down to fight Ilia Topuria at featherweight. So that's the type of guy Max Holloway is, where he can actually turn down a fight and it's badass. Like, it's actually badass to turn down a fight with someone else. So Michael Chandler being offered that fight and just the record that he has, the fight style that he has, the Gachi fight really comes to mind. Yeah, he definitely belongs in the top 10, and we're going to put him in at number 10. All right, man. Next guy on the list, I think a really underrated name in this conversation. He's a ranked lightweight. He's very, very entertaining to watch. He doesn't really have the name value of some of these other guys. He's not really a vet, but he has the fight style through and through. I'm going to put Joel Alvarez in my top 10 BMFs right now. Like, Joel Alvarez, dude, 100% finish rate. Crazy highlight reel, just nasty fucking finishes. The Drakkar close finish was fucking brutal. Even when he loses, like the Arman Sarukian fight, he's just completely covered in blood. The Elvis Brenner fight was super entertaining as well. He's an honorable mention. I'd say Elvis Brenner is like an honorable mention, but Joel Alvarez is my pick here at number 9. 100% finish rate, super dangerous, super well-rounded. I think if he moves up to welterweight, he's going to be barred from these conversations, but as long as he's at lightweight, not only are you like a size and frame merchant, but you're like finishing people, but also I think when you're that big and you're cutting that much weight, there's always a chance that you're chinny. And that makes you a little bit more exciting to me. So I'm going to say that with the fighting style of Joel Alvarez, with the wins and losses that he has, he's only lost to some pretty decent competition. He's beat some decently unranked guys, but we kind of want to see him move up the division a little bit. I would say Joel Alvarez belongs in this conversation. I think maybe Rafael Fiziev could take this spot instead if he moves up. But right now, I'm going to put Joel Alvarez here at number 9. Okay, let's move on to the next guy on the list. Dan Ige, bro. Dan Ige, I know he just had a boring fight against fucking Patricio Pitbull. Listen, there's nothing you can do when Pitbull is standing against you at range, bro. When Pitbull's standing at range, feinting against you, bro, what are you supposed to do, man? Dan Ige, he's active. He's a goated gatekeeper. Like, I base entirely my opinion of someone on in the featherweight division, whether or not I think they would beat Dan Ige. If I think they're going to be ranked, I think they beat Dan Ige. If I don't think they're good enough to be ranked, I think he beats them. That's just what he does. Like, he is part of the MMA ecosystem so beautifully, dude. Like, he really is like a fucking... He's like a spider, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you know how there's a spider in the fucking house and your girl's like tweaking out, but you're like, nah, bro. He's low-key protecting us from bugs and shit. That's what Dan Ige is doing. He's protecting us from frauds. But he's here in the BMF list because he's super active. He's constantly fighting. He accepted the fight against Diego Lopez on extremely short notice. Got off the massage table, got in the octagon against Diego Lopez, nearly fraud checked him, which was hilarious. He will literally fight anybody. He has a granite chin. He's fought all of the top names at the featherweight division. Basically, everyone ranked in the top 10 has beat Dan Ige to get there. And if you're not that good, he knocks you out, slimes you out in the apex. Dan Ige, very important to the ecosystem. 19-10. Decent power. Insane chin. A lot of entertaining fights on the resume. I think Dan Ige definitely belongs in the BMF list. And I think the short notice fights really boost him up. Because I think skill-wise and, performance-wise, I wouldn't put him above some of these guys. But I think accepting that fight on short notice was fucking insane. And he belongs here, okay? Next guy on the list, we're going to put Jon Silva here, man. We're going to put Jon Silva here because he accepted a fight against Drew Dober up a weight class for no fucking reason and put on a bit of a masterclass with the elbows, broke both of his hands, came back pretty quickly after that as well. And this guy is just in your face scrapping with you, dude. He's got nasty fucking power. He's super active. He has such a memeable, and when I say memeable, I mean the way he fights is so dangerous. Like, he could really get fucked up fighting the way that he does against a big puncher. But he doesn't care. He's literally emoting and clip farming. He's fighting actively. He's making the sport entertaining. He fought up at 155 with no worries whatsoever, completely styled on Drew Dober. So I think accepting short notice fights, and that was like a week after his last fight as well against Charles Jourdain. So yeah, Jon Silva fighting super actively, fighting up a weight class. The way that he fights, he's bringing the damage. He's exciting. He's, really, really entertaining for the sport. I think Jon Silva in a couple of fights is going to be in that conversation of like, we should see Jon Silva versus Max Holloway for the BMF belt or something like that. Like, he would really be a sick BMF title challenger. And he's good enough to be up in that echelon where I could see him fighting a Max Holloway or a Justin Gaethje or a fucking, Dan Hooker. That's where I put Jon Silva. So anyone from here up, I genuinely think they are like 1 or 2 fights away from fighting for the BMF belt. Like, that's how not only like entertaining they are, and they've done BMF things before, like BMF feats, I guess, if you want to say that. Short notice fights, crazy moments, back and forth wars, but also like, are they good enough to actually go on a run or be ranked high enough to fight someone like Max Holloway for the BMF belt? I think Jon Silva's in that convo. So we're going to put him here on the list to start off that upper echelon. My next guy in at number 6, Diego Lopez. When I was making this list, it really hit me. Diego Lopez's fate is to be like the GOAT blockhead. Like, I don't think Diego Lopez is going to be the champ unless the featherweight division really, really falls off. But, dude, this guy is like a fucking goated BMF champion if I've ever seen one. Diego Lopez's featherweight champ as a BMF champion, I could really see that. I think he is built for that type of belt where I don't think he has the full, well-rounded skill set and, the technical ability to kind of not just brawl and rely on like power or something like that, or a submission off your back. The way that a guy like Volk or Max or Ilya, these guys have skills on top of like toughness and grit and all that stuff. Diego Lopez, I think he's a very skillful grappler. I would say he has good power, good boxing, but I don't think he's the level of skilled that these guys are. But I do think he is a crazy BMF candidate because of the way that he fights. He's constantly just walking towards you, trudging at you, emoting, fucking, just letting you hit him. He has a granite block chin, blockhead S tier candidate right here. And he's active, he's exciting to watch, he has a lot of first round finishes, and he's young. So I think Diego Lopez has a lot of time to be a real BMF candidate. I'm going to put him here at number 6 on the list. I think he's just a step below the big names that I see fighting for the belt in their next fight. So from here up, I think these are people that could realistically challenge Max for the BMF belt next, okay? Number 5 in the BMF top 15. Boys, I love this shit. This guy is really clip farming his ass off to try and get these money fights. I mean, this guy is 24-12. He's fluked his way into the top 5. Now it's been dropped down to number 7. Dan Hooker's great, though. I love Dan Hooker. I know sometimes I hate on him in the videos because I feel like he won a robbery against Mateus Gamrot. And people act like Gamrot is like a terrorist of the sport when he's actually not that bad. But Hooker is super entertaining. The Jalen Turner fight was absolutely fucking insane. The Gamrot fight was super entertaining. I have no doubt that he would put on an entertaining fight against Gachi, Holloway. God, imagine this guy trying to trudge at Ilya, fucking emoting, dude. You know what I mean? Olivera. He would have an entertaining fight with all of those guys. I think he loses to every single one of them. So that's why he's number 5. I think attitude-wise, personality-wise, fight style-wise, he is in that echelon of guys that I could see fighting for the BMF belt in his next fight. But I think skill-wise and attribute-wise, he loses to all of them. I think he loses to Gachi. I think he loses to Max. I think he loses to Charles. Obviously, he loses to Ilya. I'm going to put him here at number 5, all right? Number 4, we're going to put... What the fuck? Big Rufus just morphed into... Dan Hooker just morphed into Big Rufus. Yeah, we're going to put Big Rufus in at number 4. Now, Big Rufus is here at number 4 because he was a BMF champion. So that puts him up there. Okay, he beat Dustin Poirier. He had a crazy scrap with basically everyone he fought before he turned into Patient Rufus. When he started seeing Trevor Whitman, bro turned into Corey Sandhagen. But before that, he was having crazy scraps with everybody. And I just think that it's always going to be when Justin Gaethje's walking out, regardless of how technical he actually wants to be. Joe Rogan, dude, Justin Gaethje's just the most exciting, dangerous fighter on the planet. You will never convince anyone that Gaethje is not a BMF level candidate. Like, he's just always one fight away from fighting for the BMF belt. That's just what it is. So, Justin Gaethje, he ain't acting like one right now, you know, trying to say he's going to retire if he doesn't get a title shot. Bro, you beat fucking Fiziev. Like, come on, dude. You beat Fiziev on short notice. You're not getting a title shot. That's number 1. But number 2, I feel like Rufus has actually kind of cleaned up his technique a little bit. And he's using a good jab. He's using head movement. I've seen him mix in takedown attempts. Gaethje is actually really good. I will say that, dude. Gaethje, every time this guy fights, people either extremely underrate him or they extremely overrate him. And right now we're in a phase where people are underrating him. I'm just going to say it like it is. At the end of, like, Poirier's career, Gaethje is better than him. Like, Gaethje, I really feel like Gaethje would do similar against Islam Makhachev. I know he has no ground game whatsoever, but it's like Dustin Poirier got submitted, like, 3 times in title fights. Justin Gaethje, I feel like he actually has better striking. Like, I feel like I'm saying something blasphemous right now, but if you rewatch him versus Poirier, I feel fucking insane. He was making Poirier miss so much, and he KO'd him. And against Max Holloway, like, he still had good moments in that fight. He still dropped him first before anybody else did. I feel like Gaethje is actually underrated as fuck. I don't think he beats Max in a rematch at all. I think he gets slimed out by Ilya, by Max. I think him versus Charles would be competitive right now, and I know people maybe disagree. I think he would actually be competitive with Charles right now. But yeah, Gaethje, I'm gonna put him at 4, dude. I feel like he has all the resume. He has the record. He has the highlight reel of a BMF, and he is a little bit chinny, which makes him exciting. But and he has good power. But I feel like he's actually cleaned up a little bit. So I'm gonna put him at 4. I'm gonna put Charles do Bronx at 3 because Charles Olivera now I feel like is a chin or be chinned fighter. I feel like now we're gonna be entering a chinny phase of Charles Olivera where, like, oh my god, and it's so sad, but I really do believe like Charles Olivera, if he fights Max, he's gonna get slept again. I think Max is gonna sleep Charles if they fight next. And I think this is like the best time for Paddy Pimblett to fight Charles Olivera because I think right now he might be able to beat him. I could see Paddy low-key rocking Charles on the feet and people are like, oh my god. Like, I could really see that. So, Charles Olivera, 35-11. He's fought everyone in the UFC. He's been around for forever. He has a very high finishing rate. Super dangerous off his back. A lot of round 1, round 2 wars, like 2-round wars, 1-round wars. Charles Olivera, definitely, I could see him fighting Max for the BMF belt next. Like, I really feel like that's probably likely to happen next. I'm seeing ESPN posts comparing their careers right now, which definitely tells me the UFC is thinking about doing Charles versus Max too. So I'm going to put him at 3, and that leaves 2 people left. I feel like you know who both of them are. I'm going to put Ilya at 2 because even though, yes, he beat Max Holloway, I don't think he earned the BMF status until he fought Max. I feel like now he is now in the UFC's eyes, and honestly, I don't have a problem with people saying he's the real BMF, even though JDM, like I said, is the actual lineal BMF. So Ilya, just relax, brother. JDM will fucking sleep you. He beat Max Holloway. He stood in front of him, they boxed, and he beat him. He knocked him out. Max Holloway did really good in that fight. And I think at 155, it is going to be a more competitive fight. It's going to be a better fight, and it's going to be really entertaining because Max Holloway with a little bit more power and a little bit more durability, if that's even possible, even though his chin is probably going to be a bit more questionable now that we've seen him dropped by Gachi, Ilya, and Dustin, the 3 biggest hitters at 155. I feel like he has improved, and he does have bigger power at 155. And it's going to be a factor against Ilya, who is open to be hit with the shots that Max is good at. We saw Max land so many nice combinations against Ilya. And I feel like Ilya really earned that shit by, sleeping Max, moving up to 155, like vacating his belt, just saying, fuck this. I don't care about the featherweight belt. Moving up to 155, making Islam move up a division. It kind of looks like Islam ducking. If you have Islam ducking you and you slime out Charles in one round, you are a BMF candidate. I think Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway are 1 and 2 in the BMF convo right now. I think them fighting for both belts would be absolutely fucking insane. But number one, come on, brother. Hey, listen, brother, it is what it is, brother. I'm the powerful pound number one, brother. Max Holloway's the BMF champ. He's number one. I feel like that's very obvious. And it's evident in the way that he fights as well. I mean, it seems, maybe to me, it seems like obvious that he would point down against Gachi and Poirier, but it is actually fucking insane that he did that. And I will say the reason Ilya is also a BMF is because he offered Max that 10 seconds in and Max turned that shit down. So I wish we kind of got to see that fight go to round 5, because I think Max would have done it if he got to round 5 with Ilya. I think Max would have done the point down, but he just got slimed out. So right now it's neck and neck. I think, like I said, them fighting for both belts on the line would be fucking sick. I would really enjoy seeing that. I think Max Holloway would be very competitive against Ilia Topuria. I do think he has the best chance to beat Ilya. He's like a pure striker. He has solid grappling defense. He's bigger now. He's had time to recover. And we've seen that the power is different from Max Holloway at 155. He had Justin Gaethje dancing, wobbling all over the octagon, dropped Poirier badly in the first round. Honestly, to me, it looked like he could have finished Poirier in the first round as well. I saw a tweet about that. I do agree. I think Holloway could have finished Poirier in that first round. And I respect the fact that he seemed like he kind of pulled back a little bit, same way he did against TKZ. Like, he wanted a one-shot KO. He didn't want to have to like ground and pound someone out in their retirement fight. That's kind of a sad way to go out. But yeah, hopefully we see Ilya versus Max in their next 2 fights. I think maybe Ilya versus Armin in the meantime, and maybe Max versus Charles or Max versus Dan Hooker would be cool. But until then, these are my thoughts on the UFC's top 15 BMF contenders at featherweight and 155. I think a combination of Max Holloway against any of those guys that I put in the top 6, top 7 would be a very entertaining BMF fight. But let me know your opinions in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Make sure you drop a like if you enjoyed the videos. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 90K. I feel like it's going to be crazy when we hit 100, but I'm trying to get to 90 first. So I appreciate all the support. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well, at Bedtime MMA. Maybe if I get enough followers, I can get fucking verified. The UFC will send me to UFC Perth. I'm not trying to pay for tickets and accommodation, all that shit to see fucking Tuivasa main eventing, but if we, hey, we can make it happen. If you guys want to see me go to UFC Perth, let me know. I will try and make that happen. I'm talking to some people behind the scenes about that. So listen, man, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next video. We'll be doing predictions this week for Abu Dhabi. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you in the next video, boys. Goodbye.